What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger. I'm here back with another video, and I'm going to talk about dealing with workplace narcissists and how to get past them and how to overcome them. So the thing is, it's like we all need a job, we all need to make money, we all need to, have a roof, have food, all that type of stuff. And what the workplace narcissists are trying to do is they are trying to attack your ability to make a living for yourself. They are trying to attack your ability to earn money for yourself. And they're trying to attack your ability to just live your life, essentially. And pretty much every workplace you go to, or pretty much every workplace I've been to, has a lot of these workplace narcissists. And I'll get into some of the tactics that they use against you. So the one of the first tactics they like to use is like exclusion, putting you on the outside, getting the whole group turned against you. This is a very powerful tactic, and this is unfortunately pretty effective, and you have to just kind of stay on the outside and stay chill and stay to yourself in order to get around this, because what they'll do is they'll triangulate a bunch of people against you, and or they'll treat you crappy, but then they'll be cool with everybody else. But either way, you have to stay to yourself, and you have to try to break this apart as best you can. This is especially not fun when it's a supervisor doing this to you. Yeah, so I'll get to the next one, which is a supervisor or anyone in a position of authority will use that position of authority against you. And if they are a supervisor or a manager or assistant manager or anything like that, they will really throw their weight around. They will really be up on you, and they will be micromanaging you and trying to control every detail of what you do. And you got to set boundaries with them, and you got to be careful on how you do that. You got to kind of say, oh, yes, I'll get this done for you. Just, it's easier for me to work when, I don't have, every little detail of what I do being criticized. I'm sure you can understand that. If it was vice versa, you'd probably be pretty frustrated dealing with that, So you got to stay calm, and you got to just calmly kind of set boundaries and be like, hey, I don't appreciate getting calls on the weekend, please stop doing that. That's my time. When I'm on the clock, I'm on the clock. When I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock. And you have to calmly assert yourself. And yeah. And then you're going to have people who are going to try to sabotage your work. So you do some work. Maybe you write a report, or maybe you're, doing some construction or doing something, and then all of a sudden they find some flaw in what you're doing, or they have to make some change to what you're doing, there's another kind of segue in this, which is trying to control the things you do. I'll kind of talk about that next, but yeah, so they try to change what you do, or they find some problem in what you do, or, or like the boss is about to look, so then they switch something up. And, you got to keep track of what's going on. You got to tell management, like, hey, he changed it, he switched that up. I had it right. I had that report good, and then he changed some stuff up in it. I had everything working. I had the table set up the right way, and then he had to move it. So just keep an eagle eye on that, and try not to get super upset. They're trying to get a big emotional reaction out of you. They're trying to get you to start yelling at them and stuff, which will make you look bad. So try not to do that. Yeah, not fun to deal with. And the next one is just needing to control everything. And so you'll be at work, and you'll be like, hey, I want to do it this way. And you'll have good logic and good reason for the way you want to do it. And then they need to do it some different way for some reason. And then you'll kind of say to them, hey, why do you want to do it a different way? What's wrong with the way I want to do it? And then all of a sudden they'll get mad, and why does it have to be your way? Well, we'll just do it this way. And so when they start those control games, just stay logical, ask them why they want to do that, make them explain it, and sometimes you're going to just have to kind of let them have it their way and just say, okay, fine, we'll do it your way, you know. Sometimes you're going to have to do that just to not give them the fight they're looking for. Again, not fun to deal with, but you kind of just have to try to keep them on the outside as best you can, and not get pulled into this stuff, and not have some big, you know, emotional reaction towards them, you know. And then another thing they'll do is they'll be gossiping about you, talking about you behind your back, all this type of stuff, you know. And I wish I had something you could do about that, but you just got to hold yourself upright, do a good job, and you got to really be on the outside big time. You got to sit by yourself, stay to yourself. You have to be very limited in how much you hang out with these people or how much you talk to them. You have to not give any friendship to them whatsoever, you know, and you have to focus on your work and just do the things you have to do, you know, because, again, these people are trying to sabotage your career and are ultimately trying to sabotage your life. So, yeah, you got to really be smart in how you stand up to them and in how you deal with them. Yeah, so one thing they'll also do is if you are new and you don't kind of know how things work, they will really hold that over your head, and they will withhold information from you, and they will purposely not tell you about things, and they will purposely set you up in a situation to where you're going to screw up. Even if you're not new, but if you're new to a process or new to something, they're going to purposely do as bad of a job as possible telling you about it. So what you're going to have to do there is you're going to have to just ask a lot of questions, and you're going to have to really hold them down. You're going to have to say, wait a minute. What about if this happens? No. And then they'll say, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have to say, you know, well, what about if that happens? And you're going to have to essentially, you know, ask them a lot of questions and sort of force them to lay out every single detail. And if they don't, you're going to have to be like, well, right now you're kind of leading me into a situation where I might screw something up. So I want you to really explain things to me properly and not do this to me. So you got to really stand up for yourself hard and not let the games get you. One thing a lot of narcissists will do, especially if they're in kind of a middle management position, you'll ask them a question and they'll give you a weird vague answer. So you'll ask them, let's say something like, you know, I know we stayed a little bit late. Can we still get that added to our hours as overtime? Or will it be such and such and so-and-so? And then they'll kind of say, oh, you know, like you kind of can. Or they'll give you a very vague, weird answer. Or you'll ask a question that's not a yes or no answer. And then they'll answer yes or no. And you'll be like, wait, that doesn't answer my question. So, again, without staying frustrated, you have to just kind of stay on them. And you have to kind of ask them again. And, like, you got to treat them like they're 3 years old. Just, like, treat them like three-year-olds. Some of them might get mad, like, you're treating me like a 3-year-old. It's like, and then you just kind of stay back, like, well, this is kind of what I have to do because of what you guys, how you guys treat me and stuff, you know? So, yeah, I have to kind of go about it like this. And you got to be very clever and sharp. Like, it's a battlefield out there. Like, it's not like, oh, we're all friends, we all hang out, we're all work buddies, we get drinks afterwards. Like, that might happen on the surface, but underneath it's a lot of jealousy, it's a lot of games, it's a lot of BS. And one thing is, like, if you're a chosen one, or if you got that shine to you, or you think for yourself, or you're not really involved in the matrix and society, they'll see that, and they are ultimately slaves to, you know, work, slaves to corporate America, slaves to, I don't know, slaves to money, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, they're kind of slaves to that whole system, and they see that you are not that, and that you think for yourself, and that makes them very angry, that makes them very tripped out, like, they are very unhappy with that, and they are tripping out about that, and they're like, he's not, like, just worried about things all the time, like, he has a life outside of this, he has ambitions outside of this, you know, and so that makes them get jealous, and that makes them get weird, you know, and just stick to who you are, stay to yourself, you know, don't really let the crap they do get to you, and look, if they do something outright abusive, and they do it in front of people, or they do it in a way where you can prove it, like, talk to management. And even if management are narcissists themselves, if it's like this outright kind of thing, like, you all saw him yelling at me, you know? It's something like that. They're kind of like, well, it kind of makes them like, oh, I guess we have to do something about it, you know? And that's what they kind of do. They're like, oh, I guess we have to do something about it. And once you kind of get them like that, they will do something about it, you know? And yeah, just stand on the truth and, you know, stand up for yourself, put both your feet on the ground, hold the line. And the hardest part for me is just not to get frustrated and not to get angry, because a lot of this stuff is so annoying. It is so disrespectful. It is so frustrating. It is so obnoxious. It is so annoying the way they talk down to you. It is so annoying that the little passive-aggressive comments they make to you. It is so annoying and obnoxious, and you have to kind of just, you know, take that deep breath and not react to it, and not give them the reaction they're looking for. And if you're able to hit pause, just be like, hey, that's not how you talk to me, or hey, that's very disrespectful, or hey, like, you're not going to talk to me like that. And you'd be surprised, like, every time I've done that, like, it shakes them up big time. Like, it's like, really? Like, they got that? Like, they got that hit hard from that? But, you know, when you hit back and when you're like, hey, no, you know, that does something to them, and that kind of like shakes them up. And sometimes they'll try to get revenge on you, and they'll get all squirreled out, and they'll get weird. Sometimes they'll just, you know, submit and give in. Either way, if they're trying to get revenge, they'll typically get over emotional and make mistakes themselves. So the thing they were trying to do to you in the first place will ultimately backfire and go back to them. So they were trying to get you all angry and frustrated, and they were trying to get you off your game by acting all stupid to you. And then what you do is you just, you know, ignore that, and you tell them, hey, don't act like that to me. And then they freak out. You're talking to me like I'm 3 years old. I can't believe it. And then, you know, they do a bad job. And, like, look, they are delusional, arrogant people. They think the world revolves around them. So, you know, they're going to end up breaking the rules. Like, I've seen narcissists, you know, clock hours they didn't work. I've seen narcissists just leave in the middle of the day for no reason. Just, like, storm out in a huff. Like, I literally saw that. I literally had a guy do that. He left and he came back like 3 hours later. And it was like, there was stuff to do. Like, we were busy. We were working, you know. It wasn't like something where, like, you know, there was like some, you know, pause in the action. Like, nah, he just like left in the middle, you know. And they have that entitled mentality, and just let them blow up, and eventually they'll do something they can't kind of walk back. They can't come back from, and then eventually they quit or get fired, you know. And look, it takes them a long time to get fired because of the narcissistic systems. The managers and stuff do tend to be narcissists too, or at least are narcissist enablers or have narcissistic tendencies, one or the other. So typically they let a lot of this stuff slide for a long time until it's finally, you know, intolerable. And the thing is, if you put up your wall too, where you're just not going to let the narcs abuse you and be ridiculous, they'll do it to somebody else, you know, because they have to put that abuse and negativity and bad energy somewhere. So they're going to put that bad energy on someone else, and then how's that other person going to react? And, you know, at that point, things usually blow up for them, and things typically do not work out. Yeah, so with narcissists at work, just stay to yourself, you know, be on your own business, be on your own game. Don't be too, you know, up on what they're doing. Stand up for yourself, you know. If they're treating you the wrong kind of way, just say, hey, don't treat me like that, you know. And, you know, just stand up for yourself, and don't hang out with them, don't chill with them. And if they make weird, passive-aggressive, backhanded comments, just say, hey, you know, don't do that. If you're in a position where you're telling them to do something and they're not doing it, just be like, hey, I told you to do that. You're not doing it. You should get to that, you know. Just kind of stay calm and hit them with that. with that type of calm kind of authority, calm and control energy, and they'll generally fall apart. So just try not to get frustrated and emotional, and you'll be able to beat these workplace narcs easy. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope this video found you well, and yeah, let's bust these workplace narcs.